If you'd like to talk to a psychotherapist online through Skype, I invite you to go to my website and learn more about the mindfulness-based psychotherapy that I offer through Skype. Mindfulness psychotherapy is a very effective approach for helping you manage anxiety and depression without using medications. As you will know, medications may provide a temporary relief from symptoms, but medications are not going to address the underlying cause of your anxiety or depression or other form of emotional suffering. That underlying cause is psychological in nature. Essentially, it's a habit. We develop habits based around fear. That's probably the most common core emotion behind anxiety and depression and many other of our problems. We become embroiled in this inner fear, which then takes on many different forms as reactive thinking, other forms of emotional reactivity, and also behaviors based around fear, like avoidance and hatred, and also addictions as well, another kind of behavioral reactivity based on fear primarily. Okay, so when we are working with our emotions, we work on changing this fear. We try to establish a relationship with that part of us that is in fear, that is experiencing fear. We learn to comfort it, we learn to help it heal, which can only happen when you establish a very strong, conscious and compassionate relationship with your fear. When you do this, you provide the right vehicle that allows that fear to begin to heal itself. When you establish a really good, mindful relationship with your fear, then the rate of healing is greatly accelerated. Mindfulness is all about building this quality of compassionate and non-reactive relationship with your mind, with your emotions, with your thoughts, with your beliefs, with your memories, whatever constitutes the content of your mind. We build a relationship with that content using mindfulness. It's really a way of establishing a non-reactive conscious awareness. And this is absolutely essential for healing. When you bring mindfulness to fear or anxiety or depression, it begins to heal. And that rate of healing is greatly accelerated, as I said. So during sessions, I will teach you how to use mindfulness to do this, how to actually meditate on your emotions, to meditate on that fear. That's the most important practical skill that I will teach you. You have to learn to actively engage with the fear, but not become overwhelmed by it. And that is the first purpose of meditating on your fear. It's learning how not to become overwhelmed by your fear, how not to become reactive, and how not to allow that fear to propagate into cognitive reactivity or further emotional reactivity or behavioral reactivity. So that's essential. We learn to build a non-reactive relationship with our fear, and then we help it heal through the medium of compassion. Now, compassion here is specifically helping that emotion change in a direction that helps it heal. And how we do that is something that we open up to discover through meditating on the emotion. We learn what is effective in helping it to heal. The most effective thing we can do is to build a non-reactive relationship to it. This is the equivalent of being like a parent to a child. The child is suffering, but the parent doesn't react to that suffering. Instead, he or she responds to that suffering with compassion and responds in a way that helps that child relieve his or her suffering. So that's what we have to do internally. We have to become like a parent to our emotional pain, to our fear, to our anxiety, to our depression. Whatever it is, we have to build that parent-child type relationship. That's the first essential thing we must do if we want it to heal. If we try to avoid it, or we try to talk it away, or we distract ourselves through some practice or other, or through drugs or alcohol, that will not create the right relationship, and it will not heal the underlying fear. And usually you will end up amplifying that fear. So meditation is central. Learning to be with your fear without reacting and with compassion. Now, this is a skill. You will have to work on this, but I will teach you in great detail exactly how to do this. Once you've learnt the basic mechanism of how to meditate on your emotions, the rest will come quite easily, because it's based on what you already know. You already know how to be compassionate. It's already part of your nature. It's part of what we call your true self. You don't need to learn how to be compassionate. You simply need to learn how to bring compassion where it's needed. So if you'd like to learn more about the mindfulness approach to healing emotional suffering, then go to my website, learn more there. Please email me if you would like to schedule a Skype therapy session with me. I see people all over the world, as well as in North America, and it's a very enjoyable process, believe me. Once you start learning how to love your emotions rather than react with fear to your own fear, you will re-own your life. You will get that energy back, and you will also promote healing. So please, if you'd like to get started with me, then send me an email. Thank you.